It's me, Oxide Fox, and right now I'm going to be showing you a diecast model that I've had for a very long time, and it's a 67 Dodge Charger, and I can just tell you the first thing that this thing weighs a ton. Probably over 2, maybe 3 pounds. And this is like, I have had this model a very long time. In fact, it's probably one of the first ones that I got back when I started getting into cars. And I'll just show you this photograph of what it used to look like. Yeah, this was definitely one of my first photos, and probably one of my best photos still. You can see just how old this thing is. But this thing used to sit outside, and like this was, I think this was like 18 bucks back when I bought it, and it was the only one that aged really well. And man, this thing aged very well compared to some models that I've had. The windows remained see-through, and the paint got this really cool alligator crackle on it, but you know, eventually it aged too much. It did sit outside all the time, and yeah, eventually all the paint started coming off, and you could just see it was the cast metal, and it didn't look all that good. So I scraped off all of the paint, or most of it anyway, and I was going to redo it, but then it just sat as a pile of pieces for literally years. Except I've recently found a new appreciation of these first generation Dodge Chargers, and I just had to get this thing back together. Alright, so first off, painted it red Oxide. Who knew there was a spray paint named after me, but you know, it came out pretty nice. And went for the matte black door, deck lid. Decided to go for gray on this door just to mix it up. Just trying to change up the way I do things from time to time so they all don't look too same or too similar. Got a little bit of torn up expanded metal there. Kept the windshield out of it. The old one was pretty much, you know, you could barely see through it at that point. It did take the weather did take a toll on this one. Got a crazy big rifle of some sort with a sniper scope on there. I think that was like from a G.I. Joe or something. And I don't know, the scale's probably not spot on, but it's pretty close. Interior just went for the completely stock. In fact, I didn't even paint the plastic. That is the yellowish that it came. I just did a little wash over it with an acrylic black and some water. And so you can see for 18 bucks, like, this was definitely a nice kit. Or model, I mean, not kit. Got the roof rack on top. I think that was from another diecast, GMC Sonoma, or maybe a station wagon. The wheels that came with the kit. The steering on these things is just, I mean, that's one hell of a turning radius I think this thing could do. The front bumper is from a Dodge Diplomat, and I wanted to make it actually look like a real, the way the lights on these Chargers flip up, mainly because you see so many of these models, and it's most of the time they're always down. But of course, these, you know, it's pretty common when these things break pretty commonly. So I went for the one that was half open, gave it the lazy eye. And yeah, in the back got full set of spare wheels. Didn't want to put any like really nice wheels and tires in there that I'd want to use on a model, because I did glue these in, and so I don't even know what car those were from, but they appear to be the same shape and size, so I assume they would be interchangeable, or you know, it could be whatever. And every now and then you do find these diecasts that are just a lot more detailed than some. It's got the pedals in there, little floor mats molded in. Went for a steel pipe bumper, and wanted to mix it up a bit, so I put some little gas tanks on the back of this thing. Little jerry cans. I don't know exactly what type of vehicle this would be in the post-apocalyptic world. You know, not a lot of window armor. You got exposed jerry cans in the back. I mean, they could just be filled with water or, you know, various other fluids. Still got the working deck lid. And this was quite tricky to open a lot of the time, so I decided to glue this little plastic handle onto it and gave it a bit of a neat look and made it easier to open as well. There was a plastic trunk that, like a plastic tub that fit down in there, and decided to remove that to give it a more realistic look. But yeah, didn't really do any weathering or all that much in there. It used to have some like red line tires, but they faded long ago. These are the same wheels, and all the chrome had like lost the plating and it basically turned yellow. And same thing with the wheels, all the chrome was gone. So I just painted a matte black and did a quick brush of some silver. And another thing I just noticed that I'll mention is the trim. That the trim actually came out pretty good on this. I decided to use one of these chrome pens or whatever they're called, the paint pen. And like these actually do come out pretty well. It's basically just chrome. It looks like melted mercury basically, or regular room temperature mercury. Hey, I don't have the best sense of chemistry. I'm a fox, what can you say? So I think that'll just about do it for this one. Oh, I didn't even mention under the hood. Oh yeah, definitely wanted to make sure that gun didn't interfere with that. So this is pretty nice. Has little spark plugs in there. This is a 426 Hemi. And you could still see some of the original paint. Of course, back then it had turned more of a pink than red. So instead of cleaning it all off, I figured I'd paint over it and just give it a neat look. And as diecast goes, this is definitely a much more detailed one. It's got actual full suspension, just a lot more realistic. As you can see, the axle is just a big molded in piece. So not entirely accurate. Same thing with the leaf springs. But overall, you know, I mean, this is definitely one of my favorite cars in real life. And as models go, it's definitely one of my favorite ones that I have. Maybe someday I'll try building it up a bit more, look a lot more aggressive, give it a lot more character. But for now, it's just a basic little, like, post-apocalyptic vehicle. Probably not going to see much combat, given it's got no real protection or armor. And yeah, definitely just a another good car, good model, and definitely one that has a bit more meaning to me as well. So another thing I'm gonna give a shot of doing is letting you guys name these things, and whatever kind of name you come up with, just put it in the comments below, and I'll try my best to respond to all of them. And yeah, if I do find a name that I really love, I think maybe I'll even, I don't know, maybe like in a little plastic there, maybe like carve it in there, you know? You know, car's name by username. I think that'd be a neat little touch to get you guys involved with these videos. But that'll do it for this one, and I'll see you guys all in the next video. See you later. Bye.